Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into a book that's made waves for millions, Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. The subtitle is A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment.
It really has had a huge impact.
Definitely. So our mission, really, for you listening, is to pull out the core nuggets, the key takeaways. How do we actually use this stuff to unlock the present moment, find maybe some spiritual peace? Let's unpack it.
And what's so fascinating, I think, right from the start, is Tolle's claim, and it's a pretty bold one, that our whole purpose, our existence, is basically to let the universe's divine purpose unfold.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and he says that your ability to be present, that's how vital you are to that unfolding. So yeah, we'll be exploring these main ideas, breaking down what he means.
Okay, so he kicks things off with a really potentially jarring statement. You are not your mind. That can feel counterintuitive for a lot of people.
Yeah, it absolutely can.
So what's the first big insight there? Why does he frame the mind as often the biggest hurdle?
Well, he argues that our thinking becomes compulsive. It's like an addiction. We're
Right.
constantly pulled into rehashing the past or, worrying about the future.
Right, mental time travel.
Exactly. He actually calls it psychological time. And this constant mental activity, this addiction, is where a lot of our suffering, our unhappiness stems from.
Okay.
So he gives us this tool. Watch the finger. It's like stepping back and just observing your thoughts, not judging them, not getting swept away, just noticing them.
Clouds passing.
Kind of, yeah. And in doing that, you start to realize, oh, I'm the one watching the thoughts. I'm not the thoughts themselves. There's a separation. You're the awareness behind it all.
Okay, so if the mind, or this compulsive thinking, is the root of the problem, what's the escape hatch? What's Tolle's core solution?
It's simple but profound. The now. He states it pretty unequivocally. Nothing exists outside the now. Think about it. Your past happened in a now, right? And whatever you're anticipating in the future, that will also happen in a future now. So, problems, anxieties. He argues they're mind-made illusions because they pull you out of the only time that's actually real.
Which is right now.
Exactly. And this is the way out of what he terms the pain body.
Ah, yes, the pain body. Accumulated emotional baggage.
Precisely. All that old emotional pain from the past, which kind of lives inside us and seeks more pain to feed on. The way to dissolve it, or at least stop feeding it, is through just radical presence, accepting this moment exactly as it is. Which, brings up a point for you listening, and maybe for us too. When you think about dealing with past hurts, by just focusing intently on right now, what feels most, challenging or maybe even surprising about that approach?
That is a really good question. For me, I think it's the discipline involved. It sounds simple, be present. But our minds are so conditioned to wander, it feels like, a muscle we've let atrophy.
Totally. It requires conscious effort, especially at first.
So, if the now is the answer, how do we practically get there? How do we, as he says, move deeply into the now in our everyday lives when the dishes need doing or the emails are piling up?
Right. It's not about zoning out. It's about ending what he calls the delusion of time. That feeling that past and future are more real than the present, and consciously disidentifying from the mental noise.
So stopping the inner commentary.
Or at least noticing it without believing it's you. He suggests practical things, like really tuning into your senses. What do you see, hear, smell right now? Or feeling the aliveness inside your body. He calls it the inner body. Even just using your breath as an anchor.
Just focusing on breathing in and out.
Yeah, anything that pulls your awareness away from compulsive thinking and grounds you in the present reality. This spiritual dimension he talks about isn't necessarily religious. It's more about accessing that deeper awareness beyond the egoic mind. And that's where he says true joy and peace are found just by fully being here.
Towards the end of the book, he applies this to relationships and this idea of surrender. How do those fit into living in the now?
Well, think about relationships. So much conflict comes from ego, right? From past hurts, future expectations, the pain body reacting.
Definitely. Resentments, projections.
Exactly. So Tolle argues that enlightened relationships happen when people can meet each other in the relation. Now, without all that baggage, when you're present with the other person as they are right now.
That sounds ideal, but maybe difficult.
It is, and that's where surrender comes in. It's not about giving up or being passive. It's about accepting the present moment as it is, without inner resistance, yielding to the isness of life.
Even if you don't like it.
Especially if you don't like it. It means accepting the reality of this moment first, before you try to change anything. Finding peace beyond just chasing happiness or avoiding unhappiness, it's about dropping the negativity, the resistance to what is.
So wrapping this up then, what's the takeaway for you listening right now? What does this boil down to?
Maybe just consider this. Tolle calls our constant worry about the past and future the insanity of psychological time. If that resonates at all, if you feel that pull, what's one tiny, immediate thing you could do right this second to sort of end the delusion, as he puts it?
For a moment.
Just for a moment. Could it be taking, say, 3 conscious breaths? Or just really listening to the sounds around you without labeling them? What's one simple anchor you could use to pull yourself back fully into this moment?